rockingtheroof.com. If you go to rockingtheroof.com, you could win 4 tickets to the Bob Seger Show at Van Andel Arena on May 28th, limo ride to and from the show, and a catered dinner on a rooftop high above Grand Rapids. That sounds like a pretty good night. That is hosted by American Metal Roofs. So just go to rockingtheroof.com. And it doesn't say here if the roof you're going to have dinner on is a metal roof or not, but presumably it'll be strong enough to hold you and your friends up there after you arrive in Grand Rapids in a limousine on May 28th. Rockingtheroof.com. There's no charge, no cost. Register and win, and do it soon because that date's coming up soon. It's rockingtheroof.com. Rock and roll never forgets. Bob Seger was performing yesterday at the Palace of Auburn Hills on the other side of the state in the Detroit area. Captain Kirk Squires from Central Michigan Graphics was at that show, and he said, Seger still got it. He sent me a text with a picture that he took from the crowd, and I wrote back and I said, is that Justin Bieber? Doesn't look like Justin Bieber. He said, but he's got a different haircut. Nikki Hale is on the other end of our line, our world correspondent. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Michael.
Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth, has spent the better part of the week in Ireland, and we talked about this during the week, how that visit is somewhat controversial, but she seems to be doing all she can to sort of make peace with those who harbor ill will still against the British monarchy for all those years of the Troubles and for all of the very, very ugly, dark period between the Brits and the Irish, right?
Yes, absolutely. And yesterday, which was the 4th day of her visit, she actually did her one and only speech, which is interesting because usually you will hear the Queen speak at different events that she goes to, but I think she was trying to keep this more low-key in the sense of, I'm coming, I really am so pleased that we have been able to put this together, and so it's not meant to be about her, it's meant to be about the coming together of the Irish and the British. So, I mean, it looks like everything's going good so far. I mean, in the very beginning there was an issue with a bomb on a bus, but so far everything else seems to have gone pretty smoothly.
Thought it was rather comical that she went to the Guinness storehouse. A lot of tourists do that to go see the perfect pint poured. But to see Queen Elizabeth standing there at this bar while the guy pours the Guinness, and she just sort of watching with great interest and then turns and walks away. She didn't even take a sip of the black stuff.
Yeah, but that's a very traditional Irish thing to go do. I mean, if you didn't do that, it just wouldn't be right, I don't think.
I met a guy in Bermuda a couple of weeks ago who worked for the British or the Prime Minister of Bermuda, and Queen Elizabeth visited. I think it was last year, maybe the year before. And he was around her the whole time because of his diplomatic role. And he said that she was very down to earth, pleasant to be around, and that if she had hand signals with her people, her people that escort her around. So if she put her hand on top of her left hand, for instance, that was a signal to one of them, that she wanted a cup of tea or that somebody would have to come and talk to her. He said it was amazing the way that the way that all she had to do was give a little wink or a little hand signal, and they were right with her. Isn't that interesting?
It's very prim and proper, isn't it?
It is indeed. Now, this story out of Grand Rapids, was someone really trying to sell a baby on eBay?
Yes, absolutely. And the interesting thing, Michael, is this story that I sent you, I actually found on a British website. This has made its way all around the world.
Worldwide
which is not
news.
a good thing.
Dominique but was it real? Was she really trying to sell a baby?
Well, we don't know at this point. The police are still investigating, and this child is actually not hers. She was apparently looking after the toddler while the mother was away, and she is claiming that this is all a joke, and she wanted to understand how the bidding system on eBay worked and didn't think anybody would take it seriously. But apparently somebody did make an offer for $1,000, and she accepted the offer. And at that point, the person who made the offer, who thought it was a hoax, couldn't believe their eyes and called the police and said, whoa, wait a minute, there's a person selling a child on eBay.
Freaky. Katie Couric ended her run at CBS News yesterday, and Oprah will end her talk show next week. What do you make of that? These two high-profile women getting out of business.
Well, I heard you talking about the end of the world tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you, I think Forbes magazine is also predicting that, right? Because Lady Gaga has finally toppled Oprah on the list of the annual Celebrity 100 list. And Lady Gaga, although making less money than Oprah, took the top spot.
More
so that's
powerful.
a very interesting change there.
Boy, what does that say about us when Lady Gaga is the most powerful entertainer female in the world? Nikki Hale's pretty powerful, too. She's our world correspondent. You can find her on Facebook or at MichiganTalkNetwork.com. Thank you very much. Cheers.